I'm finally back again making another video, and I want to say real quick that I unfortunately lied. I never ordered a new lens or a microphone. I completely forgot, though I did order a microphone today finally, but I really wanted to get this video done, so that's why I'm recording. But I did want to warn you guys, you will hear camera lens noises, which are really annoying, but I really wanted to just get this video out. And hopefully that's fixed soon. You could still hear me in my last video, so I'm not like super worried, but it does bug me, and I'm sure it bugs you guys too. Anyway, this is my lpscon haul, and just a little bit about my experience. Though this video is mostly about the haul, I don't think I'll make a whole video for my experience, but I will be talking about it in here. I'm sure quite a few of you saw my Instagram post. I don't really have many people watch my YouTube, but I'm willing to bet that those who do are probably from Instagram, so you probably saw my post. And yeah, I'll kind of be covering that, but this video is not about like the problems with lpscon, if that makes sense. Also, one more thing. Last time I said I was using this collie instead of my mascot because I could not find my mascot. However, this time I'm using this collie instead of my mascot because, well, my cat decided she hates my mascot and murdered her by flinging her off of a shelf onto a table, and she died in the process. So my homie Tay is probably gonna fix her up for me. I'm just too scared to pig swap her myself, even though I've literally pig swapped a 5, 6, 8. Yet somehow pig swapping my custom terrifies me. But I have wanted to make a new one of her because she was literally made almost 8 years ago when I was 13. So she needs an upgrade. But anyway, that's kind of all. This was a long intro. And let's get on to the haul. Okay, so the first category is things that I bought for myself, and I'm gonna start with the normal pets and then get into the customs, and then the next category I'll explain when we get there because I've done enough talking in the beginning of this video. So here are the pets that I bought myself. So first off, I bought this polar bear from my friend Panda, and it honestly ended up being kind of a trade because I sent her money for it, and then she came over and she bought one of my new in-box sets that I took with me, which was the same exact price. So we basically ended up trading for it, but I did technically buy it, so that's why it's here. I didn't do any trading at all, actually. I don't know why I said that. There's literally not a trading category because I did not trade. Anyway, this was one of the few pets that was a dream pet. I'm missing so few pets at this point, and I've gotten basically all my dream pets, so there's very few on my wish list that I actually really want. But this was one of them, and I'm so happy. This is my favorite polar bear and one of my favorite pets ever, and it's my best friend's possible favorite pet of all time too. And she got hers at lpscon last year, so it was perfect. I also bought this cat from one of the people who was at a table with Panda, and I can't remember exactly who it was. I was panicking. I wanted to go buy something because I was just frustrated with what had happened, which I'll get into later, and I was just like looking for something I needed, and I got this cat, and I love this cat, and I'll try and remember who it was. I'll post a picture of the account. Either way, I apologize. I was not having a good day at the beginning. Later I was fine, but at the beginning I was not having a good day. But I love new gen pets. I know a lot of people don't, but this one is just so pretty. And yeah, that's what I got from them. One thing I want to add real quick is one complaint I've seen about lpscon is that the vendor prices were really high, and in my experience they weren't really that high. They weren't cheap, but they weren't really much more than eBay. Like, yeah, maybe somewhere a little bit more than eBay prices. But honestly, for me, that didn't bug me because the convenience of not paying shipping is really nice. Anyway, I thought most of the prices were fair. I know there's a lot of people who call normal price LPS really expensive, and that's understandable because they're definitely not cheap, but that doesn't mean they're overpriced for the pet it is. If a pet is going for a certain amount, people have a right to sell it for that amount, and I'm willing to buy it for that amount. I don't expect cheaper prices just because it's a pet I want. So I got these next four all from Tara, and if you don't know who Tara is, I'll post her Instagram too. I was extremely lucky because I was there early because I had a vendor table with Tay, And so the day we were setting up, I went over and I was just like talking to Tara, and I saw a few pets I needed and I grabbed them, and she let me grab them that day because I knew it was gonna be too busy tomorrow. And like I said before, I'm missing so few pets, it's kind of hard to find the pets I need. So she let me grab them that day, and she even made a joke about how she knew I'd be her first sale. So we love Tara. So this fish I did already have, but mine has chewed up fins, so I wanted a better condition one. And I haven't cleaned any of these pets yet. Most of them are just like a little bit dirty, but everything is in pretty good condition. Next, I got this blind bag koala, and I love blind bag pets. I love them so much. I love how simple they are, which is why I never got the complaints for G7 blind box pets. Like, I understand quality issues. Complain about quality issues as much as you want, because some of them are rough. But I never understood complaining that they were plain. Have you seen G2 blind bag pets? Like, look at this. But I love how plain it is, and I love this gray, and I love this purple. And it looks so similar to another pet I got that, looking at it now, I think I got this pet dirty on the travel home, so I'm gonna clean her after I make this video. So next up is the last toucan I needed. I have all the toucans now. That was also the last polar bear I needed, and I do have all these fish. So I officially have all the toucans, and I think it was my last fuzzy pet I needed, though I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it's so freaking cute, and this one's in really good condition. And last but not least, which is actually the first pet I bought, is this one. This is the one I was talking about that was a little bit pricey, but when it comes to most pets, I don't mind that much. Like, I don't mind this bear's chip nose, though I will probably paint it to fix it a little bit. But something like blind bag pets, they have such few details that if the one detail they have is chipped up, it bugs me. Also, I've had a head swap of this one since 2020, but I've never owned the sitting one, like the released one. I'm so happy. I have wanted her for so long. I'm obsessed with her, and I'm so glad I got her. Next, I got this horse, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not entirely sure what the shop I got it from was called, because there were so many people. I was looking at the pets, and only the pets, and trying to get out of there as fast as possible. I did already have this horse, though mine was kind of damaged. And the thing is, I've always seen people talk about this horse with green sparkles. And I saw this horse, and the seller had 4 of this horse. And this one looked green, while the others looked brown. So I bought it. I was like, whatever, mine's in bad condition. If it ends up exactly the same, like, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Anyway, I got home and I compared them, and my old one's greenish too. So either I got weirdly lucky and ended up with 2 green ones, or the green ones are not what I'm thinking of, and it's just a normal one of this horse. Either way, I absolutely love this horse. I love the little like brown spots on the body, and I love the pink hooves and the glitter. It's probably one of my favorite horses. I put this one here to be the transition between normal pets and customs. Basically, my friend Fever bought a bunch of her damaged pets to get rid of, and I was helping her go through them. And she said we could take whatever we wanted, and I saw this guy, and I was like, I need him. Not gonna lie, the metallic looks so good, and I love him. I'm not gonna use him as a custom base. I'm not gonna remove the markings. He's just beautiful. And yeah, I'm obsessed with him. I would put him on my shelf if I had more room, if I'm being honest. He's just adorable. Now we're to the customs, and if I'm being honest, I am so sad I didn't get to buy more customs, but I had so much less money this year. We joke that something bad happens every year we go to lpscon. The first year, a dude made eye contact with us in the canyon where there's literal like cliffs on the drive home. He made eye contact with us while he swerved and almost sent us off the cliff. So that was scary. The second year, the bad thing was that we almost ran out of gas. We were on empty for like 45 minutes, stuck in traffic in the middle of nowhere when it was over 100 degrees. So that was also scary. And last year, we got in a really bad car accident on the way home. So that was our bad thing that year. This year, our bad thing was my husband only getting half his check because the person who was in charge of the checks while his boss was on vacation messed it up. So we had like a lot less money than we should have. And we had to do $1,000 of work on the car before we drove all the way there. So that was the bad thing this year. My point being, most of the money we had saved up for lpscon in Vegas had to be spent on the car and like gas and stuff that we shouldn't have had to spend on if we had the whole check. So I really wish I could have bought more customs, but I had just like so much less money than I have other years. So I hope that I can buy customs from the people I miss. Like, I never even got to go to Cobalt's table, and it devastates me. I really wanted to say hi and see his customs and get one of his customs finally, but I didn't because I didn't have time. And I will buy one of his customs one of these days. Anyway, this beautiful fish you've been seeing was made by Panda, and the second I saw it posted, I knew I wanted this fish, so I went and I bought it from her. And this is my favorite fish mold, and I love koi fish and koi fish designs, and I just love it so much. You guys should all go check out Panda. I'd like to preface this next section by saying I have a whole collection of Tay's customs at this point. One day I could make a collection video of just customs made by Tay that I own. But I did steal these from her in Vegas, and I am obsessed. So the first one is this collie. My favorite colors are gray and green. I know it doesn't have green, but she's figured out the formula. She knows how to get me to buy her customs. I almost took this one before lpscon, like while we were at our Airbnb, but I told her, like, even if she'd get the same amount of money if I bought them or someone else did, I wanted her to have things at her table, because I literally would have taken like half the customs she took if I could have, but I didn't, and I chose not to take this one even though I really, really wanted it. I had already grabbed two, which you'll see next, which she knew I was planning on getting. Like, they were brought for me, but if I didn't want them, she would have sold them. So I didn't want to take any more then, but while we were at her table, just like an hour or two in maybe, someone like picked up this collie and looked at it, and I was so sad, and then they put it back, and they either got something else or they left. I wasn't paying that much attention. I was focused on the collie, and right after that, I used money I got from the new box sets I was selling to buy this collie. And I'm so glad I did. I love her so much. But she did make it to lpscon. She sold at lpscon, so it's fine. It's fine. Okay, next up, Tay made a batch of customs that were all inspired by Short Hair Cat 2291, where they all had like the same pattern but different colors. And there was one from the beginning that I had kind of claimed, and then I wanted all of them. I wasn't gonna take all of them, but they were all so cute. And I chose one more, and she never made it to lpscon. Here she is. This is the one I chose in person at our Airbnb. I love her so much. She's gorgeous. She's wonderful. Her glitter is amazing. I'm just obsessed. But this is not the one I picked from the beginning. I don't know how many people will like this one more than the one I picked from the beginning, but this one, you guys never had a chance. She was mine from the concept art. I love her! Her black glitter. I love customs with black glitter. One of the first glitter customs I ever did had black glitter. The brown, the gray, the green eyes. Are you kidding me? Of course I was gonna snatch this one. It's like, it could almost be related to that collie. But yeah, I would have grabbed so many more. I would have, but I wanted you guys to have a chance. So these are the customs I got from Tay. This one's kind of an honorable mention because I was getting this one anyway. She just brought it to me in Vegas, so she didn't have to ship it. But this was a commission that Tay did for me. I had a damaged one of this golden retriever, and I spent literal months trying to fix her up. And at the end, I could have still sold her. She was like good enough to sell her, but her eyes were slightly damaged, and I could not get over the thought of having a pink-eyed one. So because her eyes were damaged, and you can't really see it, but she has yellow staining above the eyes, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get that off. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have it painted. I'm gonna keep her and love her forever. So I did. I know it's controversial because she's such a rare pet, but I would never have had Tay do this for me if it wasn't damaged, and I can't get over her. I love her. I'm sorry, I have done so much talking in this video and I haven't even gotten to the talking part where I talk about my experience. I am so sorry. I hope a lot of this is edited out, or this is gonna be 8,000 years long. Anyway, this next category involves like a tiny crumb of backstory. It's not much, I promise. Last year, the four of us, me, Danny, Fever, and Tay, decided that we would do a not so secret Santa, and we each had a person who we were getting gifts for. We did that again this year, and I had Fever. I don't have the stuff because I gave it to her, but I got her as much as I could, and I took some pets from home for her. And Tay had me, and Tay spoiled me, and I'm mad about it. We were all like, Tay, why would you do that? Because she spent so much. And don't get me wrong, I am extremely, extremely grateful. But Tay, why? Why would you spend that much? Come on, man. Anyway, so most of my haul is literally things Tay bought me. So, now we're getting on to that. Also, at one point, because my wish list is so small, I had to give Tay my phone, and I put her fingerprint in my phone so she could just take it around and check my wish list and all the folders of pets I need. Anyway, she got me this dessert fairy, which is adorable. Fairies are underrated, especially these ones. She also got me this fairy that I needed. It's so freaking cute. I love the glittery bows. And this little moose. I love mini pets. I love new gens. Okay, so I'm not sure where she got all these pets. I do know she told me that when she went over to Tara's booth, Tara had remembered some of the pets from my wish list and found some of them and put them to the side and gave them to Tay when she saw her, because she knew she was looking for stuff for me. And so I just want to shout out Tara once again, because what a homie. And obviously all of this is a shout out to Tay, because I love my friends so much, guys. First, she got me this rare hamster that I think was the last hamster I needed. And there's a lot of hamsters. I have been struggling trying to find this one forever. I'm so grateful. You don't even know, man. Then this blind bag turtle, the European version, which I've also struggled finding, and was the last turtle of this mold I need. I think I have all of the other mold but the licensing show turtle, though I don't consider the licensing show turtle necessary for a complete collection. I consider a bonus, because while it was released by Hasbro, it was never released to the public. So I count it as like a different category. Anyway, that's not relevant. So this octopus, Fever got me, I think. I don't know if Tay paid Fever for it to get it for me, because like that's what me and Fever did ourselves. We found the last bunny Tay needed, so we grabbed it and bought it for her, and then Danny, who had Tay as his person, paid us for it, so I don't know if it was that. Either way, Fever got me this octopus last year, and it had ink all over it, but she knew how hard it was to find, and she knew I needed it, so she got it for me, and I'm so grateful. And now I have a better condition one. This one's super rare. You know that popular swan everyone loves? It's the same line as that one. Next up, she also got me a koala, so now I only need one more koala, and it's the Canadian koala. I'm so happy. She's out here just completing molds for me. Speaking of completing molds, she got me this monkey. This one's so funky. I don't even like monkeys, not in real life, not LPS really, but this one's just so funny looking. And it was the last monkey I needed. Okay, special shout out to these two, because these were two more pets that were on my wish list that were actually like pets I really wanted, and not just like, oh, I need this pet to complete the mold. First of all, the baboon. I officially have every single pet that only has one of its mold. I'm not including G7 in that, of course. Like, there was only one G2 baboon and kiwi and stuff, and I have them on a checklist. Like, all the ones that just have one for their mold, I have them on a checklist together. And I have all of those unique pets now. What's funny is we managed to find the tubes and the blind box pets, enough for all three of us. So I got the new baboon and the old baboon at the same time, and I'm so happy. It's so cool looking. Once again, I'm a monkey hater at heart, but this one's really, really freaking cool. And then we have this bunny. I love this bunny. I love Blythe pets. and I've wanted her for so long. I think I only need the Brazilian one now, and then I have all of this bunny mold, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I can't believe it. I can't believe I got these two. Tay, I love you. If you watch this, I love you. Okay, these next things are going to be really hard to show with my setup, but I'm going to try my absolute hardest. And if I can't, I'll take pictures of them and insert them here. She got me this nib from Panda. This is one of my favorite new in box sets ever. I love all the pets. I love their colors. I'm so happy. Panda was selling it before and Tay asked me if I wanted it and I was like, I do, but I don't have money, and I didn't realize she was gonna get it for me. And I wanna cry. And here is the bag. Look at them! They're so cute. One of my favorite bees, one of my favorite woodpeckers, and one of my favorite bears. It's just perfect. And you can't tell me this set isn't adorable. Okay, the lighting is not really working for her that well, but she also got me this jumbo pet, which is one of my favorite jumbo pets ever. My favorite is the corgi, and then a boxer, and then this one. You can't really see her that well, but she's so freaking cute. Okay, last but so not least is a custom from Tiki that I saw on her TikTok, and I sent it to Tay and I was like, Tay, do you know if Tiki's gonna be selling this at lpscon? And Tay said yes, and that she'd ask if she could hold it for me, and I completely forgot. I don't know how I forgot because I was so excited. I completely forgot, but that worked out so perfectly for Tay because she ran and she got it for me. And this is one of the prettiest customs I've ever seen in my entire life. I cannot believe I have her. I'm obsessed with Tiki's work. Everything she does is amazing. Look at her eyes. Look at her colors, her pattern. She is beautiful. She's wonderful. She's fantastic. I cannot believe I am holding her. She's probably my favorite thing I got out of absolutely everything. Sorry, Tay. Your customs are next. I can't believe it. So, I love Tiki, I love Tay. I love this Cocker Spaniel so much. So the last thing I got, I don't know how much it counts, but this applies to my story. It is this collie custom, which beautiful, wonderful, made by Tiki, fantastic, fabulous. We love her. So, to anyone who hasn't seen my story yet, or even if you had, if you'd just rather hear me talk about it, here we go. So, last year, me and my friends were up helping CCR television on the second floor a lot of the time, and we were taking shifts to go down and look at stuff. I was buying stuff. I bought quite a few pets. I bought this custom. It was originally a gift for Tay, but she ended up this year telling me to keep it. I bought another custom, which is probably the one people are more familiar with when it comes to my story, but I had bought that one as a present for Fever. So she has it now. I gave it to her this year finally. I had gathered some pets. I'm going to put pictures of them here because I remember. I might not remember everything, but I remember a lot of it. First of all, S'mores Fairy. Devastated. I love that fairy. I wanted it so bad. I've still never gotten a new one. Second one, Sparkle's Sugar Glider. I did replace that one. I do have that one now. Third, Walmart Parakeet. Did get a replacement. Fourth, Spring Bunny, which I was devastated because that was one of the pets I was most excited for, but I did get it again. I do have that bunny now. And then I believe there was also a bonus cockatoo. Oh, and a gray squirrel. There was a gray squirrel in there. Other than that, there might have been a few more, but that's what I specifically remember. So, I had gathered all those pets. I had them in a smaller bag, and I had a big bag that I was taking all around with me. And then I went upstairs to go switch off so Tay could look instead. And I got up there, like everything was fine. I just carried on with the day. Then I got home and we did our haul for each other and gave each other our gifts. And I was so excited to surprise him with the customs. I looked, I reached in my bag, they were not there. I panicked and I was like, my bag is missing, like this small bag, not my big bag, I had that. And we were looking all over for it. We checked the car, we like looked everywhere possible in the car. We checked the Airbnb just in case we dropped it somewhere. We checked everywhere. I contacted CCR Television because I was like, yo, since I was up with you for a while, maybe it got mixed up with your stuff. He checked for me, he didn't find anything. So I was devastated. I told them what was in there. I told them I got the customs for them. I was crying, I was a mess. I was more sad about the customs, even though the pets really sucked too, because one, customs aren't cheap, as they shouldn't be. Look at that, that should be like $1 million. So that was like a lot of money in that bag. The customs alone were $80, and that's not counting all the other pets. I'm sure the stuff was around $150. I also had 2 keychains from Tiki in there. I contacted lpscon first thing the next morning because by this point it was pretty late, so I didn't want to contact them at night, but I contacted them the next morning, and I will be putting screenshots up of my messages. So they confirmed that they found a bag, and it was from one of the places I bought from. I told them I wasn't completely sure what color the bag was because I bought things from multiple places, but I told them I could let them know what was in it. And so I gave them a list of stuff that was in it, and they said they would check, and then they never got back to me. The next day, or the same day, I believe, I don't know, the dates are all in there. They sent out an email listing off things that had been missing. One thing being Fever's water bottle, which we know for a fact was hers. The bag, we were still like, well, maybe it's not mine. I'm not the only one who lost things, I'm sure. However, I want to add real quick that so many people shared my post, and I'm so grateful for it, but my post was everywhere when I lost pets. So I find it kind of hard to believe that someone else could have lost a whole bag of pets and I wouldn't have seen it at some point because of how many people shared mine. I'm sure anyone's post would have gotten shared everywhere. So I responded to the email where they once again said that they found a bag of pets, and they like said in their email to like respond to claim or something like that. So I responded. I told them once again what was in it. I said I messaged on Instagram, and I didn't realize this at the time until I was looking back getting the emails. I sent them a picture of the Persian custom. They have no excuse if I sent them a picture of a one-of-a-kind unique item. That's why I'm upset. They never got back to my email. They never got back to Kate's email, even though we know for a fact that was her water bottle. I kind of gave up. I just was like, okay, maybe it wasn't my stuff then, whatever. That really sucks. I was sad about the customs, but the pets could be replaced even if it would suck doing so. Cut to this year. I was at Tay's booth with Tay, and Fever had gone off to look at things, and she came up to me, and she looked slightly like panicked or shook or something. I could tell something was up, and she told me, she said, they're selling your pets, and said they were at the lpscon booth. So, disclaimer real quick, I have very bad anxiety. I am horrible at confronting people. I'd rather never confront people and just deal with it. I guess I can't even order my own food a lot of the times, and it's really, really embarrassing, but I would rather just not eat food than order food myself because it terrifies me. The reason I'm bringing that up is to say, you know, I was upset when I immediately got up and walked over there. I don't know if I said anything. I just got up and I walked over there. And I walked up to the table, I pointed to the pets on the table, where not only did I see my customs that I had bought, but I saw the other pets too. And I said, where did you get these? Because these are my pets that I lost last year. And the lady, who I believe was the host mom, though please don't quote me on that because I have like really bad face blindness and I'm really, really bad at recognizing people. So it might not have been her, but it was someone working there. Anyway, she told me they were donated. And then I said, I have pictures of the custom. I have posts I made looking for it because I lost my bag, and I have messages with the lpscon account. Those are my pets. So she took me to another area, and like picked up the customs. And I even said like those pets are mine too, but I don't have pictures of them, just the custom. And I only had pictures of the Persian. I didn't even have a picture of this one. And the only reason I had a picture of the Persian was because Tiki posted it. And so I was like waiting for like 10 minutes, and then she came back. Like I showed her the messages. I showed her the post I made with the date, which proved it was last year. There was literally no way I could have lied about a custom. Because customs are so unique. Anyway, she handed me the pets and she said I could have them back. And as she handed them to me, she said, "Don't lose them." And it was like that. I'm not gonna say for sure she was being passive aggressive. I'm not gonna say for sure she was being rude. Tone is another thing I kind of struggle with. But it was very different from if she handed them to me and had said something like, "Hey, just be careful, try and keep an eye on them. We wouldn't want them to get lost again." Like something like that. It was not like that. It sounded like a warning, like a threat. But once again, I hesitate to say that at all because I could have misinterpreted. No one was there with me. I wasn't recording, and I really, really wish I had now. But the second I was told my pets were there, I just got up and moved. I didn't think to grab my phone. I didn't think to take pictures of the table. And thank God to someone who got footage, because I now have pictures and a video showing they were at lpscon's table. And the keychains were in another area and I hadn't seen them, but Tiki saw them and Tiki was like, "Why are you selling my merch?" And then she got them back. She didn't know at the time they were mine either, but they were the ones from my bag. And she sent me money to make up for it because they sold them. And Tiki is just amazing. She did not have to do that. I told her she didn't have to do that, but she wanted to because she sold things that I had paid for without knowing, which obviously was not her fault at all. I did not get my other pets back. I don't know if they would have given them back or not if I had fought for them, but I did not fight for them. I got the customs. By that point, I was almost crying. I was just shaking. I was sweating. The adrenaline kind of wore off at that point. So I just wanted to go and sit down and be with my friends. And I had told them the pets were mine, but I did not have proof of them. I can understand why they'd want proof, but also if they came from the same bag as the customs, obviously they're mine, and I'm upset about it. But I hope if people bought them, they also weren't at the raffle table. I've seen a few people who mentioned what happened to me say that they were in the raffle. They were not. They were at their merch table being sold. They were all in their original bags with their original price tags too. The reason I don't believe they were donated is because they admitted they found a bag. They said it in the messages, and they just never got back to me. I'm not saying it was on purpose necessarily. I don't think they were like, "Oh yeah, let's sell these bags next year." I think they just did not get back to me. And then when they were going through stuff this year, they found the bag and were like, "Oh, let's sell these." You know, so I don't think they stole from me. They obviously didn't run up to me and grab the bag and run off. But I am upset about it, and I did not get my pets back. And I'm grateful I got the customs back, but once again, I did not fight for the other pets. By that point, I was just done. So if I had said, "Hey, what about the other pets?" I don't know if they would have given them to me. So I'm not going to accuse them of refusing to give them to me if I don't know if they would have. But if I were them and heard me say, "Those are all my pets," I would have grabbed all of them and not just the customs. Anyway, I got them, customs, slay. That was my experience. For the rest of lpscon, I didn't have most of the problems other people had because I was at a vendor's booth most of the day. Oh, also, right after, I went and told Panda what happened, and that's when I just lost it. And I'm sorry, Panda. I cried, and she hugged me and made me feel better, and it was kind of embarrassing, but also it's fine. I'm just really grateful I have the friends I do. And so I just went to the vendor's booth and I had fun hanging out there most of the day. Danny got drinks for me, so I never had to deal with going outside. I never had to worry about finding somewhere to sit. The yelling was really, really bad. It was very, very loud. We were pretty close to the stage. It was horrible. The raffle, awful. The raffle prices, awful. Doing the dragons individually, awful. Opening the dragons, awful. All those other things, awful. But I don't want to talk about what I didn't personally experience. I did not faint outside. People did though, and that's horrible, and I feel awful for them, and I really hope they're doing better now, and I really hope lpscon actually takes accountability. But there were a lot of things, and I highly recommend looking at other people's videos, like LPS Honey, Jerry Berry just made one, Cobalt made one. A lot of people talked about the issues that I didn't even fully realize, except Fever's shoes literally burned. They are burned. She washed them when she got home, and they're bright white now because the rubber just burned off. She has a picture on her Instagram post, which I will link, but it was too hot. There were too many people, all that stuff. I didn't really notice because I was sitting most of the time, and a guy did randomly hand out free cold water at the end, but I can't talk about prices because I never asked for water prices. I never did any of that. Danny got me drinks. They were expensive. He got me a fancy drink, him a fancy drink, and then he got us 3 water bottles, and it was like $20 to $30 or something, which fancy drinks are expensive, and that's okay. Anyway, I highly recommend looking at other people's videos if you want to see more about like what was wrong with it. This is just my experience, and I can't even describe how upsetting it was knowing, like, being told that the pets I had tried to get back in multiple ways were being sold by them. I can't even explain the like heart drop I got when I heard that. Tay and Fever both saw like my face fall and like my vibe completely shift. And it was just really, really upsetting, but it probably was an accident in some way, but it's still upsetting, it's still frustrating, and I am going to talk about it, and I don't think I should just give them the complete benefit of the doubt. But those items were not donated, and I know that for a fact. And even if they were donated by someone, like, they had a picture of my custom knowing I was missing it. So that's why I'm upset. All in all, I actually had a pretty good time though. Because that happened at the very beginning, I was pretty upset for a while afterwards, and then later I was just so exhausted, and while I was having fun, I didn't have the energy to go around, and I regret not seeing people. I never saw LPS Honey. I never said hi to her. I never said hi to Cobalt. I never looked at a lot of people's booths, and I'm really sad about it. But the day did not go how I planned, and I don't think it went how almost anyone planned, but I did overall have fun, and we're considering going to Meet Me next year. I'll just say that. Anyway, if you watched this all, thank you. If you watched the haul, slay. If you skipped to this part, I don't blame you. I want the tea too. So that was my experience, and it wasn't great. It was my 4th year going, and I think it might be my last, because I don't see them ever fully fixing things. But I really, really hope they do try. But that's all. That's my haul. That's my story. Bye.